From the first part of the video, we were able to figure out that the x-intercepts were at -3 and 7. Now, you don't need to throw these on a number line, but as I explain this, I want to kind of show you how this would look. There would be an x-intercept here at -3, one at 7, and what we're graphing is a parabola. And I don't know if I mentioned that before, if you guys know that from previous classes, but they have this kind of U shape. You might have seen it when you're drinking water at the water fountain, or if you like throwing a ball with your friend. This is the shape that tends to happen. I mean, it really is the actual shape. And it's got a lot of symmetry. That's my point. A lot of symmetry. And symmetry, of course, we all know means that it's the same exact thing on one side as it is on the other. And this point right in the middle, that's what the vertex is. It's like what we would call in some cases the turning around point. And whether the graph opens down or whether it opens up, that vertex is that point right smack dab in the middle. And we're going to use the fact that we know where the x-intercepts are to figure out where this point in the middle is. If I know the x value directly, exactly between -3 and 7, that's going to be where this vertex falls. And the thing is, if I want to know what number is right in between these two things, that's basically the same thing. You can kind of count with your fingers if you want to, do this kind of thing, but it's a little obnoxious. So the number right in between these two things would definitely be the average of them. And you know how to take an average, right? You learned that back in 7th grade, maybe even 6th grade. To take an average, you add the numbers together and you divide by the number of numbers. So in this case, the x value for the vertex is going to be at whatever the average of -3 and 7 is. So I'm going to do -3 plus 7 divided by 2 to get an average of 2. So now that'll be the x value of the vertex. So I know that at +2 here, somewhere along this line, there's a vertex. So to find it, I have to go back to my original equation. And why is that? Because I need to know the y value. I know the x value is 2, but what's the y value? And this is the equation that relates x to y. This is the equation that if I know an x value, when I plug it in, I can get the y value to pop out. If you don't believe me, plug in 7, see what comes out. If you don't believe me, plug in -3, see what comes out. In both cases, 0 will pop out. Well, I want to know what the y value is when x is right between those two values, so when x is 2. And that's going to look like this. It's going to be -2 squared plus 4 times 2 plus 21. Now, you got to be careful here again because there's that little sneaky negative sign in front of the x squared that really is like a -1 times x squared. So you have to square it first and then apply the negative. So this actually ends up becoming 2 squared makes 4. Then apply the negative. -4 plus 8 plus 21. And when you finish calculating all that, you get a y value of, holy cow, 25. Yes, 25. So the vertex is going to have an x value of 2 and a y value of 25. The quick recap, because I did so much talking, once you know these x-intercepts, find their average to find the number right between them. That'll give you the x value for your vertex. Take that, plug it into the function that relates x and y, and find the y value. Be careful with your calculations. Good luck.